Alright, so in this video I'm going to discuss 3 ways of getting the Mexican citizenship. It's going to be a complete guide with the time frames, the requirements and stuff like that. It's going to be broken out in 3 parts. First, I'm going to discuss the fastest possible way to get Mexican citizenship. A second part is going to cover the normal route, which is the 5-year pathway to Mexican citizenship. It has 3 categories, I should say, to qualify for the temporary residency, which then leads to citizenship eventually. And then finally, in the third part, I'm going to discuss the 2-year route. Now, this is particularly very interesting to a lot of people. A lot of people by now have already established some connections to Mexico. So if you have certain type of qualifying connections, you can apply for Mexican citizenships in just 2 years. Now, there are some slight other requirements which you got to be aware of because obviously you want to qualify. So I'm going to discuss all of that. Now, before we deep dive into all of this, if you aren't yet subscribed to my channel, make sure to turn on the bell notification and subscribe so you don't miss out on any latest updates and developments. I'm also going to discuss a very important rule change within Mexico here. Now, the first option here is the immediate citizenship. Some people are able to immediately qualify for Mexican citizenship. Qualifying criteria here is that you have a parent from Mexico. Now, before 2021, the rule was your parent had to be born in Mexico. So if your parent was a Mexican by birth, then you qualified for citizenship, but then they updated the rules effective 21-22 onwards. Now your parent could be a naturalized citizen and you could still qualify to apply for Mexican citizenship. The process is fairly straightforward. You can directly apply for citizenship. There's no wait time frame. So that's the first one. The second part is the 5-year route. It has 3 qualifying criteria. The first one is you've got to have $55,000 approximately in your bank account, right? If you have that monthly average balance for a certain time frame, first way to qualify for the temporary residency. The second way to qualify is if you have an income of $2,700 USD, you can still qualify if you have been earning that for a certain time frame. The third one is $350 to $375K USD in property purchase inside of Mexico. Let's say you purchase a condo that qualifies you for the temporary residency in Mexico. So those are the 3 categories in which you can obtain the temporary residency. It does not matter for citizenship purposes if you're on temporary or permanent for that 5-year period. It can be a combination of temporary first, which is flexible. So time on the ground is flexible. You have some room to work with there. Towards the end, yes, you would hop on to the permanent residency. There would be a conversion from temporary to permanent, but you're looking at minimum physical presence towards the end, 1.5 years, and then you can apply for your Mexican citizenship after 5 years since the time you started your temporary residency. That is where the lock-in time comes into play. It's very important that you lock in your time so that you're looking for a certain 5-year time frame. So that's the second part. The third part and the most interesting one is the 2-year pathway to Mexican citizenship. Now, under the 2-year pathway, you do have physical presence requirements. You have to be in the country for 1.5 years approximately, right? Slightly more than that. You can be out for some time, but then mostly you got to be living inside the country. You got to prove that your physical residency was inside of Mexico. There are 3 or 4 categories under which you can apply for this type of citizenship. One, if you're married to a Mexican national, a lot of people have Mexican wives, so their time frame is drastically cut down from 5 years to 2 years. You still have to have the same residency requirements, but now you're looking at a 2-year wait and then you can apply for citizenship. The second category is for people who are from certain countries like Portugal, Spain. If you are from those countries, meaning you have a citizenship from those countries, you can still qualify for this expedite throughout the 2-year track. You can directly apply for naturalization. The third category is, let's say you have a baby in Brazil, you instantly qualify for permanent residency. You qualify under the 2-year track, same residency requirements apply. And then finally, the most exciting one is the citizenship by exception. Let's say you're starting a business which is benefiting Mexico. This is all done through documentation and this is not new. This is available in a lot of countries. Some countries, you can do this without any residency requirements. In Mexico, obviously, you've got to follow the minimum physical presence criteria. But in 2 years, if your business is significantly benefiting Mexico in a positive way, then through extensive documentation, if your attorney can prove that you qualify, then in 2 years, you can apply for Mexican citizenship that way. So these are all the different categories under which you can lodge your application. If you have specific circumstances, you can always click the link in the description, book a call with us. We have specialized attorneys all across Mexico, and we can easily discuss your circumstances, get you started. Now, if you're doing the Mexican residency, convert the card conversion from inside Mexico, it could take 3 to 4 weeks depending upon your circumstances. You're looking at living in the country for that long. It means not only accommodation costs, food costs, but your time, right? A lot of people are busy. So spending 3 to 4 weeks inside of Mexico trying to do this with local agents could be a cost to you. With us, we have specialized attorneys, certain consulates that we track for the fastest amount of time. So if you're looking to spend as less time as possible to get your benefit, maybe you have to leave and have to return. So you're looking at saving a tremendous amount of money in hotel costs that you would eventually incur. So that is something you should keep in mind. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share a sub, and catch you in the next one.